Herzlich willkommen zu eines neues video. Today, second update, Cardano. Why? Well, I've received some very beautiful comments on my last video of Cardano, which was made here, where I was assuming that the entry points for Cardano were around here, and you all were convinced that we were not going to hit that level. That's why we're making a second update, and that's why I'm convinced that the best opportunity to buy Cardano is actually right now. So that's what we're going to discuss. But before that, do not forget to subscribe beneath, like the YouTube update, and also do not forget to check me out on Twitter and Instagram. Might be doing a new Q&A on Sunday or maybe tomorrow, depends on how the weekend goes. But hopefully I can answer some beautiful questions for you once again. So check me out on Instagram, where I'll be doing those Q&As quite often. So looking at Cardano at this stage, we can see that Cardano is beautifully bouncing from the support level, and that's derived from the recent low, which was also the fact in the previous entire cycle. So when we're looking at the entire cycle here, you can see that Cardano has pretty harsh corrections all the time. Correction of 35%, another correction of about 30%, another correction of about 40%. So that happens quite often, and recently we've had another pretty harsh correction, which was, yes, here we go, 38%. So having those retests is quite normal, and it's showing that that the market is just being quite organic, as there's no real vertical candles. Like, we've had those breakouts here, those will not be retested anymore again, but we did see a breakout here quite vertically, and then the crash of Bitcoin took place, which took out many traders on the leveraged positions heavily, and also made lots of panic in the entire market happen throughout the months after. So since then, a big breakout, and usually when you see such a big breakout, you will not be getting any chance in the run itself. But as I mentioned in the update earlier today about Bitcoin, those retests will most often take place, especially if you come back to the topic that we just discussed here, which is the fact that we are having those retests all the time with Cardano. So then the second topic is that if you're going to buy around $2.90, that's just in general if you're going to buy an asset, the downwards risk is significant. So if you're buying an asset around this region, the chances that it will fall to at least $2.40, but maybe even $2, is quite significant, as the ones that have been buying here will be starting to take profits. Plus, if the markets are going to reverse, then it will start stumbling down quite heavy, as all those stops will be taken out. And that's exactly what we saw happening. So if you want to take a trade on any asset at any time in the world, you have to look at support levels and be patient. So with Cardano, the same opportunity is there. If you want to get into Cardano, this was the region where you would want to get into it, and the higher low that might be created. So based on the daily time frame, the best entry might be gone, but you're still getting a better entry than the ones that have been buying around $2.80. And then the final thing I want to say about this topic is that if you want to get into FOMO and if you want to buy here, start using lower time frames so it's only a scalp or day trade. And finally, you should realize that if you're going to do this in the next months, when Bitcoin and crypto are going to run heavily, you will be the one that is buying the actual top. And that might not be reached ever again if you're buying a certain altcoin that is going vertical. So that is the fact of bear markets. They start at some point, and I'm quite convinced that we will be having one next year for at least a year. But then you are not sure whether you're going to reach those levels again. And holding in the bear market is absolutely disastrous and costs a lot of energy, mental state, and effort to actually keep your position in place. So looking at Cardano here, we are seeing this beautiful bounce, daily engulfing candle, support is holding once again, currently finding its first place of resistance. I'll just remove this for a little bit. And then if you look at the daily, you're not getting any opportunity at this stage to look at an entry point, right? So you're not looking at an entry here, but you can start using the DCA strategy as you're still better off than the levels or the ones that have been buying here. When you're looking at the 4-hour time frame, I think you're getting the exact same view as what you have right now on Bitcoin and ETH actually. So you're going to look at an entry point which is around the fact of $2.15. So anything in this region might be a great entry point if we get a corrective move. So if Cardano can't break through this one, we reverse and consolidate for a little bit. This might be a slight consolidation area in which you want to look for entries in this region here. That is based on the 4-hour. If this one is lost, I think we're going to squeeze down all the way back towards new lows, as we're going to take the liquidity there overall. If we do break up, which is also still a case, that might be happening here, and that's the entire region that we have around $2.35 to $2.40. If that one breaks, a retest would also grant an entry. But overall, usually you will see corrective moves that take place, and they have two moves: half a downwards pullback, another bounce back up, another retest to create some bullish divergence and such. And then we have some consolidation through which you get a squeeze and compression, and then we start breaking out. So the impulse waves are most likely still going to happen. Where are we currently with the price action? I guess we are somewhere in such a structure like we see here. So we're just building up for the new breakout to be happening on Cardano. Looking at the Bitcoin pair, not much to change. It's almost the same, in which we can see that we've had a beautiful retest of the previous high here too. And therefore some consolidation is most likely going to take place before we're going to have a new impulse wave. So both the USDT and Bitcoin pair are looking for continuation, and I think that's just great, and I think that is just what we want to see with the markets right now. I hope you have enjoyed this small update. I'll be back tomorrow with my top altcoins to watch, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you again soon.